Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Mountain Blade Warband with the Between Empires mod. Last time around we saw off the French communists, well, the French Republic as well. And today we're gonna end the French Republic, well, temporarily anyways. We're currently sieging the last holding in Algiers. And I've already gone ahead and taken the first position, which wasn't too hard because it was only manned by machine guns. Now you can tell that the French Republic is... they're really struggling, to say the least, because if we go over here, first of all we can see from the map here that they've only established a defensive line over here and not across the map. And when we take a closer look, no, those are not French Foreign Legion. You might expect to find such in North Africa, but no, these are in fact Spanish troops. The entire garrison of the last area the French held was garrisoned by Spanish troops. I don't know what this guy's doing. The Macarena? Who knows? Anyways, we'll go ahead and attack. Now, raid my troops. We're just going to move them into position, go ahead and attack this, and then it's time to deal the cards for the peace. I'm going to start by moving the machine guns and the cannons into play. As that is happening, I'm going to order all companies to charge. So they're all over the top now. Let's go ahead and add some gas. And also, currently I have them all on hold fire. But we should also tell them to fire at will on the enemy. As, well, otherwise we'll lose tons of them. The gas will force the Spanish defenders to put gas masks on, reducing their accuracy. And now when the artillery is turning on them, they'll soon enough get shot down. Oh, they've already decided to flee. Not going too well for them. They're running straight into the machine gun fire. We've got Crazy Dude. I don't know what he's carrying. An invisible two-handed sword. Not entirely sure what that's all about. Probably time to tell the artillery to hold fire, not to shoot our own troops. And there we go. All the Spanish troops were defeated, and the last French fort in North Africa falls to a victorious German Empire. For my own division, I only had one wounded soldier, while for the allied divisions, or the rest of the army, we had 52 casualties, in which 14 killed, 33 wounded, 5 routed. The enemy lost their entire garrison of 98 men, in which 90% of them actually died. Only 10 ended up wounded. Interestingly enough, the prisoners inside were all Republican French. I'm not did I actually attack a French position, or was it just a Spanish one where they'd taken all the French Republic troops prisoner? You'd almost imagine by this. The guy we captured, one of the wounded guys, the only wounded guy who survived, it seems. And then the prisoners from here. Rather odd. I wish I could get rid of you, Olaf Jacobson. Right. With the now last area captured, is time to go ahead and sue for peace. Kirby, what say you? We're gonna start with the French Commune. Currently they hold no territory, and they've held no territory for quite a while. And they will actually accept a peace without any territory changing hands. in terms of I don't have to hand anything back to them. I wonder if I can do this and actually give Florence back to the Italians. Otherwise, we'll resurrect the communists just in Florence. They'll have one province. They won't survive. I think that's a deal. I also don't want to hold on to Florence. So yeah, let's make peace. Right, let's take a look at if that worked. Yes, Florence is back in the Italian. It's part of Italy again. That's great. And now we want to recreate the French Republic, but it's only gonna hold its territory down here in the south. Let's go back to the headquarters and set up that peace negotiation. French Republic. Let's see what it is. Oh, infamy penalty is severe. And there's no way. I'm gonna have to hand back then. To be able to get down to 0, I'll have to hand back 20 towns. And there's plenty more than what it is down in what's it called? Down in North Africa. So I think we're gonna hold off on that one a little bit. We're gonna hold off on that one. I do think... No, that's not what I'm supposed to do. I'm not supposed to talk to you. I'm going to go back here, and I do think we have another option to actually peace out Norway, I think. No, Norway and the French Republic are the same. Huh. But wait, was it the same when I... God, why do it always kicks me out and then I have to run back? But when I negotiate with Norway, it includes the French. But when I just do with the French, it's just the French. Okay, so the Norwegians are leaders of their alliance. We're also at war with Sweden, which we that just recently happened in between episodes. Okay. We can't. I was hoping we'd just do a white peace immediately. Oh yes, the border gore, Påskov. If I take that, then surely Sweden will surrender. Now I've noticed something, which I actually noticed in I was trying to record this episode yesterday, was that suddenly it's the same situation. I've taken the last one. The French didn't, I mean, Sulpice give them back 20 towns. That's completely unreasonable. I'm gonna give them back more territory than they had when they started. Like, I'm gonna have to give, you know, plenty of territories up here. I think it's only like 8 or 9 down in North Africa, 10 if you count Corsica. That would mean I have to give back 10 up here, and that's just too much. But what happened was that I kind of let the French stew in their defeat, and I noticed suddenly it just started ticking up. Infamy started ticking up here in the corner, and I was like, what is going on? I need to sign a peace treaty with France. And then I saw that the infamy level had dropped from 211 down to like 90 or something like that. And so what I think that was I incurred, I think it was like 1 point of infamy for each kind of core region the French lost. Like, they didn't no longer claim it, in a sense. So if we go back and take a look, it's easy maybe to explain once we see here. So let's go. So right now we can see there's like a little dot here, which means that it's a French core region. And because we've taken everything, these are going to start dropping, hopefully pretty soon, but I will be incurring a lot of infamy in the process. And then once it just dropped down to 9, so roughly, I guess I could run it all the way to the end, but I would incur like 20 points, which is a little bit too much. And I'm not totally interested in controlling North Africa. Currently, like the let's get out of here and go actually to the industrial zone. So resource menu. So what I've had is, for quite a long time we've had this massive demand continuously rising and the supply not keeping up. And this is a raw material. It's not like I can build a factory to start building more iron. The only thing you can do there with raw materials, as far as I know, or within the mod, is to put more points or more money into infrastructure, like more in the budget, put more infrastructure, and that supposedly is to increase it. But clearly it's not keeping up with it, and I think that because we're such a vast empire at this point, the money that we put into infrastructure, even if it's 100%, it's impossible really to keep up with the expansion we are currently dealing with. So in terms of iron, in this case, we supply about half of what is needed. And if we look at, we demand 13,000. The entire world, what's available in the world, is 12,000, and there's plenty of other nation that needs iron. So the total demand in the world is 17,000, while the supply is only 12,000. So that's not great. But there is worse. There is a lot worse. Coal supply 9,000, around 10,000, 18,000 in demand. Meat, here is we started to get into the really worse numbers. So here the world supply is 7,600 roughly, while the demand is 31,000. I think the worst one, here is one that's actually kind of working, because the supply is 16,000 and the demand is 10,000. So that's actually reasonable. Almost all of the world's demand for cotton comes from me. I demand 10,600-ish out of 10,900. So the other countries stand for about 300. So all of the world's cotton apparently is bought in by Germany. The flour is the worst one. It's absolute disaster in terms of that. So we for ourselves are able to supply 6,000. The entire world is able to supply 22,000. The need for flour is 78,000. You would think that given this, I don't know where we're supposed to get all of this. Clearly people are starving. Since so much of, bread essentially is missing. I have a demand of 36,000 actually, and I'm only able to supply myself with 6,000, and I'm sure none of the other nations of the world, now a few of them are probably able to sell off something. No, actually everyone has a higher demand than they have a supply. So, except French Republic apparently. French Republic is... No, wait, I looked at it wrong. No one in the world is able to supply their demand. So everyone's basically starving. Food... wood doesn't matter. Now we come to the stuff that's being produced. That's a completely different order. So we're able to... Ooh, the supply has really dropped. I'm wondering if this is because ammunition builds from iron or steel or something. Because currently we're only able to supply 500. So clearly the economy is kind of fucked by the fact that the supply of the raw materials are not kept up with the rest. Really what I think it should do is, I like the thing about infrastructure, but I think infrastructure could go further, because there's like imagine if you can only attack through, I think I've talked about this before, you can only attack through certain lines, right? So Algiers connects to a certain area. What if you could be like, it was more concentrated and there was actually like a road, a straight road leading, or there could be multiple actually. So there could be a road, and then when infrastructure within the area is upgraded to a certain higher point, you get a railway line in between two areas. Like it's from the area that is increased, you get railway lines, and people traveling in between cities, like they move faster as they travel on the line, which I think could be, because travel speed is different depending on where you travel. So if you travel through a wood, it's slower. So I think it would be able to manageable, and you can kind of have, railway lines or roads. So at the start, you would start as road and kind of winding your way around areas. And then you have the straight railway lines turn up later that you follow. And it would be much easier to kind of, follow enemy army movements and stuff like that. You could easily, because oftentimes, especially when I'm facing, big nations like Russia and so on, it could be hard to find their armies. So I think that could be an idea. But now we're talking about the infrastructure. What I was talking about in terms of the raw material, because it's built off of the villages. So each village has a raw material that is spawned or is produced out of it, sort of. And as infrastructure increase, we can actually see the level of infrastructure, right? Over here, so it's piss poor in this region. But as that increases, it should increase the raw materials out of the village. We should actually go to the village to see what it produces. But it's not super necessary, actually. But I'm really... Because you still have the mechanic here where you can go to the village, you can build a school, watchtower, whatever. What if you change those, the school, the whatever watchtower, change that out to things that will increase the productivity, and suddenly we don't have this problem that ends up. I mean, obviously this is very late game, but then the raw material doesn't get, this screwed up, as the world is demanding 78,000 and only 22,000 is available. Now, a lot of this is probably because I've conquered everything and we're not able to really... that would actually be interesting. I would... kind of like go in, cheat for a small country or something, amass a huge wealth, increase the what's it called? The infrastructure expense. It is currently at 100%, but for a small country where maybe there's 5-6 towns, then you would see the railway lines quickly expand in that area. Oh, last budget change. We're actually losing money now. I guess that's because we've taken on so much territory, and public servant wages and like healthcare and all that skyrockets. It could also be before the fact that I've actually, I think I decreased some of these levels. Lowered income tax and stuff like that. The thing is, I've got billions and billions and billions, so there shouldn't be a problem. And that was actually good that I went in there to check that I'm losing £78,000 per month, per day, whatever. Ooh, that's actually rather bad. Hopefully then we'll set aside and we'll make peace. And that's also why I don't want to annex all of France. And when I kind of want to... Maybe I should give back all of France, actually. Maybe I should start reducing us back to a more, reasonable size. Like I should give back territories that were not really not super needed. Do we still have the Danish? Did I plant it? No, I destroyed the Danish. We could bring back Belgium and give them that territory. Maybe there's a lot of beef or something there that I need. I don't know. But expansion has caused a problem within the empire. So we don't. The thing is, though, I've built a lot of factories in France, so I think we want to keep that. But we don't want to keep North Africa. Right, there's lots of talking here. What we're going to do is we're going to shift our focus to Russia, and we're going to shift our focus to marriage. In the test episode, or the one that didn't work out, I actually have an idea now of how to make figure out the marriage stuff. So I'll go ahead and do that, and we'll start to shift the forces over now to Russia. As I was traveling to Berlin, I decided to pop off to get something to drink while we were moving, and I missed the event when the infamy started to occur, so we incurred all of it. France no longer has any core regions left, which means that currently I could just peace out as it is, but we're not going to. Now, because there's so many towns that I have to give back, I think it's probably easiest if I just go through and write down all the names and then go through and go ahead and sue for peace. And that probably means that since Norway lost its ally, I could maybe peace out Norway and get rid of him. Also, I decided a different strategy when it comes to marriage. We're basically going to tell every single one of them. Well, we're going to ask them their relations. And then, if they're like eligible, they're unmarried basically, and they're no one's wife, then we're gonna ask them, and we're gonna go from there. Because what I did in the episode that didn't work out, I asked another one, and I noticed that they stack. So attempt to visit lady, I got 2 attempt to visit lady. So they stack. And I imagine you can stack quite a few. So in case, the first one didn't work out, because her father was Austrian, we'll ask until we find someone which has a father that actually will agree. And that's how we're going to solve the problem. Normally in Mountain Blade, you would be looking at like who's the most, influential, who has the most towns. But all these divisions, it doesn't make them, they don't make any difference. They all have the same renown. None of them has any fiefs. So it doesn't matter really. So I'm just gonna go through and literally go from each one and like, oh, I'm your most ardent admirer, to all of them, if necessary. And from there, we'll find one that will agree. Because, like, the time I tested this, the first one I talked to became devoted. Immediately, she went from 0 to 100. So let's start with you, and just to show you what I'm looking for, because I'm not going to show you everything, because it's going to take some time to go through all of this. So let's see, location of someone. May I honor knowing more about you, my lady? So I'm the wife, right? She's the wife of Mr. Fontanelli, so that's not. When she is the wife, okay, so we not care about you, and we haven't talked to her. Splendid to finally make your acquaintance. She's the sister of Gunther Hahn. Here we actually find someone. So, I profess you're most courteous and courteous. No, I should do the voice. Look at that! Relationship 100, devoted. She knows the true power of a bloody emperor. You are the most courteous, courteous and courteous. And courteous. No, you are the most courteous
and courtesy is a fine virtue. I would like it very much if we could see more of each other.
Right. So we'll go from there. Wait, what was your father again? Or what was your brother called again? Gunther Hahn. Right. We'll go ahead and ask Gunther Hahn if this will work out. Surprise, surprise! It turns out that Gunther Hahn is an Austrian. Great. I am the German Emperor. And I would like to ask you something. I ask again, may I have the honor of visit... Have I asked it before? I haven't asked him before. That seems like a bad omen. You have my blessing to pay suit to her, so long as your intentions are honorable, of course. Depending on how things proceed between you two, we may discuss a later date. Finally, this will work out. Gunther Hahn. Your sister's gonna marry the German Emperor. Wonderful. This is exactly what I needed. Yes! Finally! And of course, we shouldn't forget about the fact that Sweden controls Pskov. So on we go. Let's advance on the Swedes. They really do need more of these battle scenes, given that I outnumbered the Swedes quite heavily, 2-1. 2-1 could still go rather bad, couldn't it? Let's go ahead and soften up the enemy with a barrage that will focus in on the Swedes over on that side. Looks like the Swedes do have their artillery. It would be funny if the Swedish artillery is manned by Norwegian crews. Oh, there's a Swedish machine gunner trying to move in close. And there's another one. Right, the Swedes are setting up over there. I just need to check. No, the Swedish artillery crew is Swedish. Okay, so really quickly here. I was on my way back when I noticed this guy. That's pretty darn clever. The last position is held by... I guess that's what the machine gunners are really supposed to do. Not run at you immediately at the start. They're supposed to be staying in positions like... Oh shit, did I just get hit? How the hell did I get hit? I'm gonna go ahead and hide in the hole. A lot of the Swedes here in the first barrack, or first redoubt, has been taken out. Notice how he has the Remington rolling block, which really at the time would be reserved for the militia, or the Landsturm. The others have... Well, there's a mix, actually. There's a mix of what they have. There's not a lot of them left. I was just setting up my stormtrooper units to go ahead and attack them. I'm not sure if it's that necessary anymore. But I guess we'll can send first squad over, or first company, and then we'll focus the rest of the companies going towards second. The machine gunners are there. Let's clear out first, which is almost already cleared out just by the artillery. Let's see who wins this. Oh, well, clearly the German guy won. I ordered them to throw grenades, but I think... Oh, there's one guy left. Holy shit, or everything's going after him right now. He is able to do quite a bit of damage on this guy. Now the Swedes have their own version of the... Oh, there's only 12 guys left? I lost that many, and I didn't really notice. Let's get them all in there. There we go. First redoubt claimed. Let's go for the second one. And for this one, we'll order everyone to charge. The attack begins with gas being poured up over the Swedish troops. And right now, most of my troops... Let's try not to shoot our own. Let's hold the artillery strikes. I think the best way is probably actually to order the troops to charge them bayonet style, actually. Let's tell everyone to use melee weapon. And see about everyone can get in here and cut these guys down. Because standing out there usually doesn't work. Okay, they were able to surround that guy. And this guy, I think this guy might be in some kind of trouble because, well, oh! He managed to get one of them. Oh! No, he got one and then he died. The rest chasing down a group of Swedish troops over here, completely wrecking them. It looks though like the Swedes were able to take down two guys moving up here. Swedish machine gunner took out two before he died. And now we focus in on the last bit. Given their exposed position, I'm pretty sure my artillery will kill the Swedish artillery crew long before my troops get here. Or maybe I spoke too soon. This guy is already on his way, and he got killed by our own artillery bombardment. So, if we want these guys to actually die... Oh, there we go. Another one was killed by our own bombardment, but we might want to hold fire now. Ooh, did our guy die? No, he managed to not get through. No, he died. And now it's the guys behind the bunker. And out from the bunker he storms. Getting shot in the back. I don't know why he stopped. You should continue to charge. Where's the rest of them? So 1 for 1. You know, you should go after more than one guy. Like, you should continue the charge. It's kind of expensive way to fight, to go 1 for 1. Oh, god damn it. There we go. That's what we want to see. Nope. That's not at all what we want to see. We're losing tons of men here at the last bit just because of these. There, finally. But we lost a lot of our own troops here at the very end. Holy crap. There we have that. Half my army was, or half my division was put as casualties, as I number about 180 men. 94 which were casualties. 34 killed, 60 wounded. The enemy though lost 89. Didn't they have more? No, they had half of what I had. Right. Right, that's good. Then we took Pskov from the Swedes. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I think this will be it for the episode. So, we managed to take out the French, destroy the French communists. We took Pskov from the Swedes, and we are good on our way to getting our marriage. Given that she's already devoted 100%, I'm sure I'll be able to set up the marriage right after, like, the first meeting. So, it'll all be smooth sailing from here. Next episode, we'll take Moscow, and we'll completely crush the Russians. And everything will be fine, yes. And then we'll end the series. In between episodes, I'll make sure to re-establish France, and hopefully raise my budget again by not having to pay for infrastructure improvements in North Africa, if that's how it works. Yeah. With that said, I'll say as I always say, hopefully you guys enjoy this, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.